Hi, everyone. Great to be with you again. Day 3, step 3 in the Wise Woman process is the S, which is superfoods, nutrition, my favorite thing ultimately in the world to talk about. And the reason I love to talk about food, superfoods, is because I am a functional diagnostic nutrition for over 20 years. And being a nutritionist, it never fails, but I learn something new about nutrition almost every single day. It's crazy. I love to grow in this. I love to share my knowledge with people, which is why I share my knowledge of nutrition in both of my books that were recently best-selling books on Amazon, so it's very exciting. But when I wrote my first book, I Refused Chemo, really had to change how I ate, and I really had to reframe some things that I was doing in my nutritional lifestyle. And, and a diabetic lifestyle of nutrition is a little different from a cancer. They're similar, but they're different. So that's why my second book, I decided to share the protocols that have worked for many of my clients who are pre-type 2 and type 1 diabetics. So that's what we're talking about today, you guys. I'm so excited. But I always want to start with a story about one of my clients. And today I get to talk to you about a client. Her fake name is Jill. But what's going to be cool for you guys to hear is that actually Jill is a type. Is it Jill? Yeah, Jill. Sorry, I protect my clients' real names for these stories, so sometimes I get them mixed up. So I just want to make sure that I was saying the right one that coincides with what I write in the book. But Jill is a type 1 diabetic. Now, a lot of times people think that when they look at the Diabetes Lifestyle Coaching Academy, because I do a lot of promoting with pre and type 2, which is amazing because pre and type 2, it's pretty, the lifestyle coaching is very, very strong in reversing your diabetes when you're pre and type 2, but type 1 is not reversible. It's just not. But I do have type 1 diabetic clients, right? And Jill is a perfect example of a type 1 who was born with diabetes, and she was just not feeling very well because she's on insulin and she could never lose weight. So she came to me actually because she could not lose the weight no matter what she did. And you guys already know this because you learned about this in lesson 1, but insulin is fat storing. So when you're injecting all this insulin, she was always in a fat storing mode. So it was basically impossible for her to lose weight. So Jill came to me because, one, she couldn't lose weight, and she ended up wanting to get really lean so she could take it to the next step level, which is competing in a competition. But long story short is that when Jill worked with me and we got her on a very strict and customized nutrition protocol for her, we were able to lower the amount of insulin she was injecting. And she was able to lose weight and get ripped. In fact, you will meet Jill inside the academy because she's still a client of mine. She's still practicing what she preaches and she looks amazing. And we've been able to reduce the amount of insulin that she is injecting through good superfoods, nutrition, and some supplements. So that is the story there. So type 1s absolutely will 100%, get amazing results, and this will be really good for them in the Diabetes Lifestyle Coaching Academy. So if you know somebody that has type 1, absolutely this will be so beneficial for them too. Okay, so again, just to review, I like to review this in every single video because it's super important that you guys understand that when your doctor diagnoses you with type 1, pre, or type 2, the medical doctor is going to be in charge of that part of your prescription, your diagnosis. He or she will be in charge of your insulin management, the drugs that you're on. He will be monitoring your labs and just any other diabetic medication. So it's very important that, especially if you're a type 1, that you are working closely with your medical doctor. But your medical doctor also wants you to work on your lifestyle. And this is where he or she has absolutely no time to do this for you. Plus, to be honest, you guys, not only that they don't have the time, but they're not taught medical nutrition in medical school. As weird as that may sound, I'm serious. I have doctors RNs, PAs that do my program just to learn about nutrition, because they're not taught that. They're experts at this. They're experts at being able to treat it with medications, but the lifestyle is actually what's going to get you more ahead in the long run. So I'm so excited to be able to work with your medical doctor to be able to help you with this part of your treatment, right? Because we have found that when you really focus on this part, then this starts to go away, and your doctor actually is very happy about that. Okay. So again, step 3, we're talking about the S in superfoods today. So let's get started. There is a very famous quote by somebody whose name is Hippocrates. You've probably heard this, very famous, but he was considered the father of modern medicine. And he quoted years and years and years ago, "Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food." And you know what? He was onto something there, you guys, because the underlying theme for just about every health concern we have today is nutrition. Everything that we put in our mouth is either causing inflammation, disrupting hormones, increasing your risk of disease, or it's creating an anti-inflammatory effect, fueling our cells and creating health in the body. So I am such a component of good nutrition. And I know this firsthand because when I had cancer, right, I was able to totally change. I mean, I never really ate bad, you guys, but because of my disease, my cancer, I was able to really understand and learn what certain foods were best in actually helping reverse my cancer. So it's the same thing with diabetes. If you have type 1, type 2, or pre, is that there's certain foods, there's certain things that are going to be better and more effective in being able to reverse or help your symptoms go away with diabetes, okay? So every single plant-based nutrition, every single food you put in your body, you guys, that are from the earth or plant-based, they have a lot of phytonutrients. Think of this. Really want you to think about this and hear me on this. Think about every food as a natural medicine. And you know why? Because look at the colors. Look at the colors of these different foods. Every single food that is plant-based has pigment in the food that is natural medicine. It's like green tea, the green from the leaves and are green, and those leaves are packed with chlorophyll, right? The blue in blueberries, it's medicine. The red in raspberries, it's medicine. The green in the kiwi, it's medicine. It's phytonutrients. Every single plant has medicine in it, without exception. Isn't that amazing? We have to start considering our food as medicine. But the problem is our food supply these days are so depleted with nutrition because of the pesticides and the chemicals and all of the process that our food is being put through. Okay. So a lot of, the chemicals that are being sprayed in our food is affecting our soil and affecting how our food is being digested in our body, okay? Our soil is very depleted, which makes our food very deficient in minerals, okay? So it's super important that we understand this, and we talk a lot about this in the academy, and I will share with you and basically explain to you what we need to do to avoid that. Our digestion is another huge concern because, again, with all of the chemicals that are being sprayed on our crops, it's affecting our digestion. It's affecting how we are absorbing nutrition. So if you have diabetes and you're not absorbing the food that you're eating, the healthy food that you're eating, it's not going to benefit you. So again, we have to prepare, and we prepare our digestion, prepare our guts to be able to accept and absorb the nutrition that we're putting in it. And there is a process to do that. In fact, it has been scientifically proven, and I will get into this even more in a future lesson on supplements, but it has been scientifically proven that our bodies on a daily basis need 90 essential nutrients. So what's happening is we're not getting those 90 essential nutrients on a daily basis at all due to our food being depleted and also not eating the right foods. Our bodies need 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 fatty acids. The problem is our tanks are extremely low. because we're not getting that. So when our tanks are low, and even if we're eating healthy, they're only half full because of the deficiency in our soil and because we're not eating the right foods. So even with our tanks, this half tanks low, our bodies are not able to properly function how they were designed to function. This is why we get sick. This is why we get disease, because if we don't have enough gas in our tank, our fuel tank, what's going to happen? We're not going to be able to fight disease. We're not going to have the energy. We're not going to be able to recover from sickness very well. We're going to get sick all the time, like flus and colds and diseases. And our bodies aren't able to function, and our immune systems aren't able to function how they were designed to function. Okay. So it's really, 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 really important that we feed our bodies with amazing foods and nutrition and try to get rid of all the toxins, including medications, that are in our food supply. Okay. So we have to really increase our plant-based foods, our vegetables, our legumes, and our fruits, and our complex carbohydrates. We have to increase all the fiber in our diets. Okay. So that is super important. The other hot topic right now is a ketogenic diet and diabetes. I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about. In fact, many of my clients come to me and say, I really, 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 really think that I need to go on a ketogenic diet, and I think that ketogenic is for me. I'm not going to go into super detail about it, but here is the deal, you guys. A ketogenic diet long term, first of all, is not going to be good for you, because you're not getting all the nutrition that you need. You're not getting those 90 essential nutrients, for one thing. The second thing is we touched on what you learned in the first video, is that a ketogenic is very high in fats. And what you learned is that when you eat those fats, what's happening? The fatty processed foods and all that fat is gumming up your receptors. We talked about this in video 1. So a ketogenic diet, if you have insulin resistance in the long run, is not going to help you. It's not, especially long term. So in the academy, we really focus on repairing the damaged cells that are mucked up by all of these fats and these things that you're eating. And there's a process to do that. It's super important. And we work on that in the academy. So a ketogenic diet, I know it's the buzz right now, but it's just like anything else. It's a diet, right? And I really don't like to put my clients on diets that they can't do long term. Short term, there's some benefits for some types of people, okay? But if you have diabetes, I'm just going to say it's probably not the best thing. And if we do decide to do it, it will be very short term and under certain circumstances based on what we learn about your situation. Okay, I know. Why doesn't your doctor tell you this? Well, because again, you guys, I'm not going to knock doctors. Okay, I'm not, because it's super important that you're working with a medical doctor when you have diabetes, but they don't know about medical nutrition. They don't know the current research. I'm sorry, that is just the truth. Okay, so this is why a lot of physicians will refer them to me for lifestyle coaching, because that is where you're going to really be able to get off of the medications and also learn the stuff that your doctor does not have the time to teach you guys. Okay, so again, going back to this chart, you need this in your treatment, but you need this to actually get better and to reverse and possibly reverse. More than likely you will reverse it, except if you're type 1. But you're also just for long term, you need this. We don't want you on this long term. If we can avoid this, we really want to. And your doctor wants that for you too. So this is why the Diabetes Lifestyle Coaching Academy was formed, is to actually help you with this side of the equation. And I'm telling you, the results we get our clients are like no other. So again, you always have an opportunity to talk with me by going to callwithterry.com. We can set up a strategy session there. Get in my schedule. I can't wait to talk with you. Otherwise, tomorrow, guess what? It's the 4th step, the E, erratic hormones. See you tomorrow, guys.